has begun in Illinois.
Good morning and welcome back to Matt Nair on Air. Jane Matt Nair, Greg Bach, the board lord, coming to you live from our studio in downtown Waukesha. You can call, you can text. It's the same number. You can leave a comment on the live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and the platform that Jabba the Musk continues to actively ruin.
Oh, where is he?
Look how quickly that came out.
Oh, I forgot.
It has spilled out after your vote last week. Yes, coming up at 11:50, we're going to wrap up the show with This Shouldn't Be a Thing. And if you ever have a thing, send it in to Jane Says. If you ever have something that shouldn't be a thing, send it in to Jane Says, JANESAYS, Jane Says at civicmedia.us, and we will make sure that we include that in the show. I stumbled on this article this morning in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel by Kelly Meyerhofer, and I just think it's funny.
Yeah.
I do. I think it's hilarious. The headline reads, "What's Wisconsin's beef with Illinois? For some, it's the many tourists."
Yeah.
What is our issue with Illonesians?
Is it Illonesians?
I'm fairly certain it's Illonesians.
That's amazing.
What would you call
I
them?
have no idea. Illinois?
Illinois? I like that better, but I don't think that's accurate.
Illinoisians?
Is it Illini or is that just the college?
I think it's just the college.
I think that's just the college.
Yeah. But hey, let's if there was only a website on the internet that could tell us what the answer is.
I'm pretty sure it's Illonesians.
I think you're right.
If I'm incorrect, 855-752-4842. And we'd also like to know, what is it that annoys you about people from Illinois? Again, story in today's Journal-Sentinel from Kelly Meyerhofer. And she talked to people in Lake Geneva specifically because it's right over the border, obviously. And they get all kinds of tourists from Illinois because it's so close. And it's beautiful. Lake Geneva is a beautiful place. Many in Lake Geneva would rather gripe about it. They say Illinois tourists don't know how to drive. They don't know how to park. They don't know how to back their boat into the lake. They take over the town. They're condescending, patronizing, always in a hurry, and lack common courtesy. The mayor of Lake Geneva, which is hilarious, Lake Geneva Mayor Todd Krause, says he admits he sometimes turns to tourists for comic relief. I'm going to go sit on my porch later today and watch people try and parallel park for a good 2 hours. It's absolutely hysterical.
Now, know that when we're talking about this, folks, our tongue planted firmly in cheek on this.
Absolutely.
This is not meant to start a state war.
No.
But I personally do. I don't live in Lake Geneva. I don't go there a lot. But I have my only big gripe is my experience when it comes to like the driving.
Is it the speeding?
It's the speeding. And that's the thing is, this is how I know I'm in the right here. My friends from Chicago, specifically Chicago, but Illinois on the whole, will be like, you guys just drive so slow. And I'm like, what? The speed limit? They're not happy. And for them, it's 10 miles over the speed limit.
Yeah,
is
which
slow.
is slow.
Is slow to them.
So they're the ones when I'm going 70, they're going 90.
Correct. And some people in Wisconsin drive fast too. It's not a state-based thing, but yeah. And then also, if you're a Brewers fan, the Cubs experience is not a good one.
Yeah, I've heard that.
They're just, and they're like, we're Chicago Cubs fans. We love Chicago. I'm like, yeah, where are you from? I'm from Schaumburg.
Calvin?
I don't want to I wouldn't go as far to classify Illinois drivers as fast, or I just call them not. I don't know if they're not used to our roads, but they very clearly don't know where they're going a lot of times, and it leads to them making peculiar choices.
Calvin, I'm gonna let you in a little secret. The roads that are in Wisconsin, as someone who's in Kenosha, are the same roads that are in Illinois. They're the same roads, made of the same material, using the same yellow paints, using the same, like it's the same. They're more daring. And I mean that, like, they make choices as far as driving that are like, why aren't there 10 cops here right now?
And you never see cops on the freeways in Illinois.
No,
I don't think I have ever seen, and we drive to O'Hare. I don't think I've ever seen a cop.
Because they drive 20 miles an hour faster than the people driving fast already.
Couple of texts coming in from WL. a K in Amory, Illinoisers.
Yeah.
Steve from Milwaukee, Illinoisans, because they annoy everyone. From Green Bay on WGBW, Illinoisia is the loss of the ability to drive. Rob from Port Edwards is on the line. Good morning, Rob. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, folks. Great show. I lived on Green Lake for many years, and I was surrounded by white Illinois plates. And my office was in the Loop in Chicago, so I experienced driving in Chicago firsthand, as well as endured them in Recreationalville. And the thing that you have to understand with Illinois drivers, there are two speeds: matted for acceleration and matted for smash the brakes. That's it. Two speeds: fast or stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Consequently, they're not used to that kind of driving when they go across into the rural, Green Lake really isn't rural wilderness, but nonetheless, they struggle with that because they're so accustomed to driving with 8-9 million people trying to get to the same place they're at. If you break them down individually, one-on-one or a couple people, they're great. But if you get them in mass, it's the mob mentality, and they can be bores, even worse than me. Oh my God! Have a lovely day. Take care.
Thank you, Rob. Really appreciate you checking in, and always thank you for listening. Tony on the live stream says, my local quick trip guy told me I can't wait until these terrorists leave. Then he specifically said, not tourists, terrorists. It was hilarious.
I mean, look, I know that nobody's perfect, and I know that everyone in Illinois drives poorly. But the thing is that that's who we see. And when I'm driving home at night from the club after 2 shows and it's 12:30 a.m., first of all, I'm almost always driving the speed limit, if not 5, maybe 10 miles over. But when I can feel a car coming up on my left going real fast, I hear that zooming, and they just plow past me, more times than not, it's an Illinois plate.
And because I drove down to the border on Saturday over the weekend to meet a friend for lunch, and it's the passing on the right that freaks me out.
Yeah.
When they're going 90 in the far right lane.
Yeah, or they're swerving.
Yes, swerving in and out.
Regardless of what state you live in, it's the swerving that I really don't like either. But I think we should maybe bring it back to the base of the story, which is it has to do with how they treat Wisconsin when they're here vacationing, and that there's a lack of self-awareness there, and you're in someone else. I mean, yes, it's your vacation, but you're also your company, and you should treat the people that you're around with respect. And if people in that area are noticing it, you can't say it's not true.
This is we're referring to an article from Kelly Meyerhofer in today's Journal Sentinel. What's Wisconsin's beef with Illinois? For some, it's the many tourists. And she talks to people in Lake Geneva, which of course is right over the border, and also in Door County, because there are a lot of people from Illinois who have property and bought property in Illinois. So they certainly do add to the tax base.
They do.
And they bring in a lot of money for tourism over the summer months and probably even into the winter months, because we all know there's nothing to do in Illinois.
Well, I mean, once you're in Chicago, it's great. Once you have anything else, it's just like you got yourself a chain restaurant or corn.
Or corn.
Have you ever driven to St. Louis from Wisconsin? I feel like I committed a crime, and that is my punishment.
Calvin.
I was like 10 or 12 years old, but my family had a camping trailer for a few years. And for whatever reason, our group that we went camping with did Thanksgiving in St. Louis. So we were camping in St. Louis. It was like a casino parking lot type deal.
Nice.
It was a really odd
That's
thing.
not camping. That's just...
It was a weird setup, but we saw the arch and the zoo. They have a really cool zoo in St. Louis.
But driving through Illinois must have been really scintillating.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, just thrilling.
It's cornfields. It's just lots and lots and lots of
It's
cornfields.
so flat. It's so boring. And
except for the Peru areas is a little bluffy. It's a little bluffy.
It's got some bluff to it.
It does. Troy from Mount Horeb, thank you for your patience, Troy. And thanks for checking in with us. What did you want to say?
So we went to the Brewer game this Memorial Day weekend against the Cubs. and they were showing people in Cubs gear. This person on the scoreboard, this person puts ketchup on their hot dog, type of thing. And one of the things was, to Greg's point, this person says they're from Chicago when they're really from St. Charles.
Yep. Oh yeah, yeah. They love to be from Chicago until you say, "Well, where in Chicago do you live?" "Oh, I don't live in Chicago. It's terrible there." "Well, where do you live?" "Oh, I live in Evanston. I live in Deer Creek."
Be proud of Evanston.
Yeah, totally, absolutely. Troy, my heart goes out to you. I decided unless there's something really going on that I want to do, I don't go to Cubs Brewers games anymore in Milwaukee. I just can't handle it.
It's that bad
for me personally, and I don't like it. There's an obnoxiousness to it that I don't enjoy. I personally wish all fans of the other team would stay home at all times, and it was only Brewers fans.
Wouldn't that be nice?
But I mean, it is what it is, and I can't change anything. But yeah, Troy, you're not wrong. And this whole thing of like, you don't put ketchup on a hot dog. A lot of people do. Okay, I'm done.
Thank you, Troy. Thank you for checking in with us. You can always join us as well at 855-752-4842. What is our problem with Illinoisans or Illinoisances, as I'm seeing on the text line? Brett from Kewanee listening in Green Bay on WGBW. They go 80 miles an hour to Door County, and then they slow down to 40 and look at the same kind of farms they flew by all the way up.
That's the other thing too, is they'll do like you're doing, if the freeway's 70 and you're doing 70, or even let's say you're doing 80, and that's pretty fast.
Yes,
That is a pull-overable offense. They're on your tail like you're not already breaking the law. You don't like it? Go around me.
Go around me.
Roofers. Calvin confirmed this, but I also looked it up. Illinois, people from Illinois are called Illinoisians, Noisians,
Illinoisans,
or Illinoisans. Like they know nothing. But point is, I'm just kidding, my friends from Illinois. I love you very, very much. Please hire me at your comedy venues.
Chris in Madison, listening here on WAUK. There's a reason the FIB acronym doesn't stand for Friendly Illinois Buddy.
What did the mayor call it? Because he had to keep it very.
He had to keep it clean. Let me find it. Yes, the mayor of Lake Geneva said he calls them fartin' Illinois buggers.
It's such a Wisconsin thing to say.
It really is. I can hear Tony.
Oh my gosh!
I can hear Tony Evers saying that.
Oh my gosh! Those Illinois people, I can't stand them right now.
Angie from Monroe on the line. Good morning, Angie. We only got about a minute and a half left.
It's okay. It's kind of funny. I know we're not to see any Illinois drivers at Sunnyside, right in Illinois, at Sunnyside and Beloit.
I've never been there. Is Sunnyside not a good place to be?
All you see is it's like right over the border, and all you see is Wisconsin plates at the dispensary.
Oh, the dispensary. Yes.
That's all. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all you see is Wisconsin plates there.
Yeah. Tom from LA actually texted that in. Wisconsin gives more to Illinois in weed sales. We certainly do help support their weed industry. There is no doubt about that. Thank you so much, Angie. Thank you so much for listening. All right. When we return, you still have a couple more minutes. Text the word via the Civic Media app. Jewelry, JEWELRY. Jewelry is the word to text in our statewide text to win going for the green or gold contest. When we return, we'll be back with This Shouldn't Be a Thing. So keep it here on the Civic Media Radio Network.